Hey everybody, this is Mike McLaughlin from the Vitalist Institute, and today I'm going to be leading you through the bioenergetic practice for the aggressive pattern. So for those of you who are not familiar with what I'm talking about when I say aggressive pattern, you can check out the work of Stephen Kessler in his book, The 5 Personality Patterns, where he goes through these Reichian character structures and helps us understand how these specific ways that we lock up our body and prevent ourselves from feeling and experiencing life get wired into our nervous system in childhood, and then we carry those around. So today's practice is working with the aggressive pattern, or this tendency that we have to lock and block vulnerability, lock our hearts down. There's really a split between love and connection and power and control. And so for folks who run this pattern, it's a lot of big energy that comes up and gets thrown out into the world. It gives them a lot of gifts in leadership and sort of being a charismatic figure and taking charge, but it also leaves a tendency to trample, run over other people, not really be attuned to the softer sensations in the heart. So we're going to be working through this practice today, and for those of you who are new to bioenergetics, this is a pretty evocative practice, a fairly intense practice. And so, if it becomes too intense at any point in the practice, whether that's physically too intense or emotionally too intense, you can always take a break. You can always breathe through your nose. You can always just take a pause for a couple minutes. And if it just becomes too much, then you may need to look at finding someone to support you in some of this work. So we're just going to get right into the practice. I'm going to talk you through the postures as we get into them. So today's practice, there's going to be a warm-up, and then the main practice, and then a cool down at the end. So it's about 35-40 minutes to do the whole thing. And if you can find yourself a place where you're not going to be disturbed too much in this practice, we've got a couple things to be aware about. One is that we're going to be doing pelvic drops. So it's nice to have a blanket underneath your hips or a pillow so that you don't hurt your tailbone when you drop. And secondly, is we are going to be doing some crying and laughing. We're going to be doing some crying and laughing that is really, we want to generate from our deep belly. So sometimes I see people practice and they're like, and there's a lot going on in their face. We actually want to get that deep grief down in the lungs and our belly So the breath we're going to be using for the cry is like this. You really want to let your eyes, your jaw, your face constrict, because the whole idea of bioenergetics is we're going into this physical armory in the ways that the emotions, the expression have been locked into our body, and we're releasing them. Same thing for the laugh. You're going to have to maybe start with a fake laugh, start with a fake cry, and sometimes real tears and real laughter it comes. If it doesn't, that's fine too. So that's one thing to know. The other breath we're going to be working with is the startle breath, which is the breath looks like this. You take a full breath in, and then you let just maybe 10-20% of your breath out, and then it's as if we're being startled. And so we're going to be working with that breath. That tends to build a pretty quick and fast charge. So if that feels like too much at any point, you can always go back to the main breath we're going to be using through the practice, which is just in and out through the mouth. So a big river of breath with a soft, relaxed jaw. And I'll remind you through the practice to keep checking in and make sure you're still breathing. The gist of all this work is that, when we were in times of trauma or conditioning, that we stop the breath and we stop feeling. And so the work with bioenergetics is to remember to breathe and feel again. And whatever comes up, whether it's tremoring or shaking in your body or emotions, just let them come through, be felt, and released. They usually come in waves. So as long as you're feeling safe, you can continue with the practice. If at any point, again, if you're not feeling physically or psychologically, emotionally safe, you can take a little break, you can pause, and you can reach out to the Vitalist Institute and can make sure that you are feeling supported in this work. So without further ado, let's do it. Yeah, because of the fake crying and the fake laughing, you may want to make sure you're in a place where that feels okay to you. If you're living in an apartment or you got a roommate sleeping next door, it can feel a little uncomfortable. You can quiet the laugh down and quiet the cry down a little bit, and just really work like a or so make it work for you. Here we go. We're going to start with a warm-up, which is going to be standing, then we'll move to the floor. this first posture for a warm-up here, you're gonna be squeezing and blocking off our heart, really pushing your pecs together, pulling your shoulders up, and then you're gonna make this angry face like this, clenching your jaw, furrowing your brows, like just even letting yourself think of something that's frustrating or angering to you. And we're gonna build some charge. Start that breath in and out through your mouth. See if you can breathe into your belly first and up into your chest and shoulders. Really clenching your teeth. Sometimes it's a good posture to get even a little shaking and tremoring. If you really squeeze your pecs together and pull your shoulders up. Take all that energy that you've created in your shoulders, and I'm just going to send it down into the earth with our teenage release. Not just your arms going down, but really lift your shoulders up to your ears. If you want to coordinate your breath, and again, try to bring something up within your awareness that is causing some anger or some frustration. See if you can let it go. Back to that posture. Squeeze, really squeeze your pecs together. Lift your shoulders up like you're simultaneously protecting yourself and also holding anger in. Locking your jaw, squinting, furrowing your brows. Let that anger, let that frustration build within you. Keep breathing. To let that charge out of your shoulders and neck, throwing it down to the ground and getting it out of your body so you don't have to carry it around. Got a little grunt in there. Some vocalizations. Play around with opening your jaw, creating some space. Our throat, our jaw is where we tend to lock down on anger. We don't want to express it. It feels like it's unsafe. So just opening your jaw, letting that breath move through you. Last time through on this warm up here, squeezing at your heart space, pulling your shoulders up. You can even squeeze the back of your neck, the back of your skull down into your neck. Really furrowing your brow, locking down your jaw, holding that anger in, letting that charge build. See if you can keep breathing. It can be through your nose or through your clenched teeth. last time, throwing that energy to the ground. Check that your shoulders are still going all the way up to your ears. It's not just your arms. You have a whole minute to make it down to the ground. The rest of the practice is going to be down on the ground. So take your time. If you need a drink of water, make sure you have a blanket as we do the pelvic drop. And make sure that your tailbone is supported. So just go ahead and start connecting back to your full deep breath, like a river coming down to your belly. Relaxed jaw. Just a big flow of breath through your whole body. In and out through your mouth. Letting your breath take you inside your body. Building awareness. In this first posture, we're going to reach our arms out to the side. Pull your fingertips back, squeeze behind your heart space, and then we're going to run in place. Point your toes down. You're gonna let your calves and your thighs, hit pretty hard. We're waking up our legs. And then just find your breath in and out through your mouth. Keep committing to feeling the inside of your body. Keep committing to breathing. Just allowing whatever sensations are starting to arise, just to be there. Just notice them, feel them. There's nothing else to do. There, bringing your feet to the floor. You're going to be lifting up your pelvic floor just a couple inches. It doesn't have to be very high. And then, so breath in, let go. It's easy for people in this one to lift up and then kind of set it back down. But for this particular bio posture, lift up and then let the breath go and let your hips go. If you find your mind drifting off, see if you can just redirect your brain back into just the idea of breathing in and breathing out, or redirect your brain back to the sensations you're feeling. Bioenergetics is really, it's a meditative practice in the sense that you're trying to let go of anything other than this present moment. You just be with yourself, your breath, in this present moment. Keep your feet the same way, and you're going to arch your back just a bit. Squeeze behind your heart space. You're going to touch this area just below your sternum here. So your sternum comes and then your rib cage starts. You just touch that area of golden triangle, and then you're going to startle breath into it. So big breath in, let out 10%, and then we're forcing that startle right into our rib cage. It's good to make a bit of an audible noise of like a gasp. I'm not going to do it because I want you to find your own rhythm, how fast it feels good for you to do that. It's kind of like you're filling your gas tank and then maybe just letting a quarter of the tank or even an eighth of the tank out and then filling it back up again with that startle breath. The breath's going to stay the same. This time you're going to squeeze over your heart, squeeze your shoulder, and you're going to try not to aim the breath at your belly, but bring that startle breath right up to your chest. So same thing, big breath in, let a little bit out, and then right up in your shoulders, right up in your heart space. Find the rhythm of breath that feels right for you. Try not to engage the belly too much. Keep that surge of breath right up into your chest, your throat, shoulders. Really squeeze. This is a spot where tremoring will often want to come in. If tremoring happens, that's normal. Just allow your body to shake. And we're going to go into the crying. If you want to do some reaching, the breath is going to be like you're reaching up for your caregiver, you're reaching up for help. You can let your body move wherever it wants to go. And your laugh, crying turns to laughter. See if you can feel it all the way in your belly. Okay, we're gonna go through. This is the second time through. We're starting back with that posture of running in place, pulling your arms out to the side, pulling your fingers in. You'll really feel that engagement in your forearms, and then squeeze behind your heart space. Big full breath in and out through your mouth. Play around. You can either point your toes straight down this time, or you can pull your toes back and almost like you're kicking someone away from you with your heels and see how that feels. Not a right or wrong way to have your ankles. Just play around with what feels good to you. Do make sure your breath is full and deep, your jaw is relaxed, your mouth is open. Breathing into your belly, then into your heart space. Keep pulling your fingers in, really lighting up your wrists, your forearms, squeezing behind your heart. Just feeling all of it. From there, going in to the pelvic drop. Coordinating your breath. Exhale when your hips drop, making sure your tailbone's protected. You have a pillow or a blanket underneath it. And finding the pace that's right for you. Be mindful of not going too fast. You want to still stay present to all the sensations. And speak and kill our ability to feel. You're arching your back, squeezing your shoulder blades together, just touching the space just below the sternum where your rib cage start to go diagonally down here. I'm going to bring that startle breath in again. It's good to make noise. I'm going to stop making noise so that you can find your own rhythm. Pumping all your breath right into that space just below your breastbone, just below your sternum. Breath stays the same. Now squeeze into your heart, your shoulders. See if you can direct that startle breath just up into your heart space, not down in your belly. You just pump it up into your shoulders and heart and throat. And into tears to crying right from your belly as deep as you can go. Into laughter. Good. Into the third and final round here, you're going to pull your arms out to the side, squeeze your shoulder blades together, pull your fingers back, feeling the backside of your heart, feeling your forearms, and of course, feeling your legs as you wake them up, just running in place. Keep that breath nice and full. Check in. How deep and full is your breath? As deep as you can breathe. Keep squeezing behind your heart. Keep pulling your fingers back, noticing if you're spacing out a little bit. Keep your awareness inside your body. Feel it all. Feet on the floor, pelvic drop. The effort's on the in-breath. Exhale just falls out. Find a pace that's right for you. Squeezing behind your heart space again, puffing up your chest, your rib cage a bit, touching that spot and just bringing that startle breath right to that golden triangle, right to the stress catching point below the sternum. Breath staying the same, enough squeezing in, protecting your heart. Just bringing that startle breath up into your heart space, to your shoulders. We're just gonna stay now. Just lift up your tailbone a little bit and just see if you can shake your pelvic floor. You might find that there's just natural tremors or shaking that wants to come through your body. And if that happens, just allow your body to take over. For those of you who aren't feeling any natural tremors, just lifting up your hips and shaking them back and forth, kind of letting everything soften. We're just gonna stay here for a couple of minutes. It's just this cool down phase. During this phase, keep your breath full all the way down to your belly, your hips, your legs. If it feels better to let that tremor happen with your legs straight, that's fine as well. Part of what we're doing in this practice is we're activating our vital force, our life force that runs through us. And one way that our body lets go of armoring, conditioning, trauma is simply through shaking and tremoring. Allowing the extra energy held within our physical body, within our nervous system to just shake out. It's very healthy, it's very good for us. So, whether you're activating it or your body's taking over, just sink in, allow the tremoring to happen. Keep your breath on the inside of your body. Keep your awareness on the inside of your body. Keep your breath deep down as far as you can breathe. Can you breathe all the way to your big toes? Can you feel all the way to your ankles and feet and your calves? Your body knows how to let go of all this tension. It's just bringing the circuits on to remember how to shake this out, how to release these areas of chronic tension. And we're just going to start to come to stillness if you can. If your body's still tremoring, you can stick with it as long as you need to, even up to half an hour or an hour. But if you don't have all that time, then just start to bring your breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Starting to feel the earth underneath you just hold you. And really staying present with your body, feeling the inside. Just give yourself 5 or 10 minutes in this posture just to take a rest. The hard work's over. You just settle in and rest and feel maybe some new spaces that you created in your body. So I hope you enjoy your rest. Give yourself as much time as you need. This practice can be done a few times a few times a week. And I'd recommend doing it closer to the morning or early afternoon. It can be a little stimulating to do right before bed. So enjoy your rest, and we'll see you next time.